Hey guys, welcome back to our Enshrouded building episode. Last time we built a crazy treehouse thing up in the northern part of the map, and at the beginning of that episode, I asked you guys for a few suggestions on what to do with this first build we did, and you guys had some awesome ideas, and I've done some work, and I wanted to show you guys kind of what we've done. So over here, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep this altar over here or not, and a friend of mine actually suggested that we just build around it and kind of build it into it. So I built this kind of like trellis thing, like the vine trellis. I think that's the word anyways. And then I didn't realize we could use luminous growth. I thought it had to be like the actual glowing blocks. And by actually using the shroud, growth blocks here, we've created this like corrupted altar that's like, it's growing up the trellis and kind of like it's evolving, and making this like a little evil. And it's slowly growing over here on the walls, and then I started adopting it over here in like these tendrils coming out of the wall, out of the mountain, hillside, whatever you want to call this thing, kind of into our build. So it's like our alchemist is here studying that, and then I kind of brought that into this part of the house, and it totally changes the vibe in here, which I really love. Like the ambiance in here looks so cool. So it's kind of like, again, these tendrils coming in, like it pushed this wall in and it's kind of broken and over top of the flower bed, right? And then it's growing through over here, kind of same thing. I didn't want to go overboard, just a few like veins of it. So it's like, it's, he's here for a reason to study it, and it's growing and whatever else. And then I kind of made it so it's hard to see, but you can see under the table here, it's kind of like sticking through. So, he's trying to study it or whatever. And then I just went ahead and cleaned up some of this build. We put like the sunken bookshelves in. We did that over there as well. And I built like a full fleshed out kitchen here. So this kitchen just uses 2 of the sinks. There's bookshelves. And then this is actually a blacksmith forge. You can see right here is like the bellows on the corner. So I sunk those in so you really don't see it unless you know what you're looking for. And it works as like a really awesome little stove. Up top, kind of did the same thing. I just cleaned up a few areas, like over here. We just kind of cleaned it up, made this so it's a little bit more of like a built-in thing, not just like a standing bookshelf on the wall. And I'm probably going to do that quite a bit more because I think it turns out really awesome. Anyways, that isn't the point of today. The point of today is to build another house in this area to go along with this build. Right now, this is kind of a fully finished build, and this is a crappy starter house, and that's not going to fly. So today we're going to build our next build in this little town area. And in order to do that, well, I need to clear some space. Okay, starter house removed. I think we have enough room to start building. I really wasn't happy with that build, and I didn't like the position of it, and I didn't like how close it was to this, the flame altar here. So instead of moving the flame altar, we're gonna rebuild the house because that makes more sense, right? Now, one thing we gotta do is I'm actually gonna build from about here. This will be the front corner, and it's gonna go off that direction and then off this direction, and it's gonna overhang kinda, well, probably a little ways into the shroud. You can see we actually have a ton of space now there. I upgraded our flame altar to level 4, so we have like 160 by 160. But the first thing I gotta do, obviously, is I need to terraform this area, and I'm gonna terraform it to, well, we're gonna build this up a bit, so we're probably gonna start it at about, let's say this height, somewhere in here. So yeah, let me build this first little piece, and I'll bring you guys back. So I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think I just discovered like infinite stone and dirt and luminous growth. If you go into the terrain tools and you use any of these, specifically the rock or the square, and you can see this uses 4 dirt. So if I place this up here, it takes 4 dirt, and then if I mine this, I get back like 30. I'm pretty sure that's infinite of these resources. Luminous growth is the same thing. It takes 1. Now you don't get 1 for every swing, but there's 1, 2, 3. Like, it's not infinite, but I think that's not supposed to be how that is. Anyways, what I'm doing here is, so we built this kind of like, I'm just kind of planning out this area, right? Now, what I wanted to do is this main kind of feature of this part was I want like a, I don't want to say like a sewer, but like a drainage. So like if there's a river or a stream or something that's coming through here, it goes underneath the build and kind of comes out here. but this is obviously like dried up because water is not in the game at the moment, right? So I'm thinking though, we have it come through here, and then maybe this whole area is like a dried up pond that used to be here. And then what we can do, I've had a few people suggest that we use these blocks. So we can use the luminous blocks for like water. Now we can do that, right? But it is like super glowing nuclear water. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But what we could do though, is we could do kind of the same thing I did over here. And we could maybe do like some things of like luminous growth in here. So if I go in and use like this, we could put like some pockets of this stuff where it's like, this is where the water used to be. And then it's like grown over and being all gross and whatnot, right? Maybe that's a way we can introduce some color and some light into here. So I think this is starting to really get the idea across, right? So basically all I've done is I've lowered the ground a little bit and made it so it's more like a pond that was here. So like the water would come out of this hole and then like pool in here and then overflow out that way, right? So I don't know if it's like there's a spring under there or if they're just swimming in sewage, but I don't care. That's up to them, obviously. And then obviously I put some of this like the growth in here, and I think this is enough. It's got a really nice glow at night, and I don't want to go crazy just like the other build over there. I want it to be just subtle, that it's like it's either being taken over or we're like pushing it back, right? But I think by doing this, it lets me build this part up, so we can go maybe up this way, up this little wall here, and then when I build the house, maybe we can have it so it's built into part of it. So we get that like the ability to have like the shroud growing in our city here, which I think is a cool aesthetic. And well, we need to actually build the damn thing. So before I get too far, I want to kind of show you guys what I'm messing around with here. So I'm just basically working on like the block palette we're going to use. So we're going to use stone and the half timbered wood. We haven't used that for like walls yet. So on the inside, you're going to get this kind of look, which I think will be super cool for this like a medieval style build, obviously. We're going to do the same kind of thing we've been doing where we use like flintstone for some of the window stuff. We'll put flower beds in front of the windows. This roof is going to be like just an overhang here, but then the second floor is going to be like the opposite direction, you know? And then the thing I'm playing around with is actually this entrance area. We're going to do something a little bit different. Initially, I wanted the entrance to kind of like come out like this and then over here, and then the entrance would be kind of here-ish. But I don't want this piece of this like broken tree to be in the way, and I don't want to rip it out. I want that to stay. So I'm messing around with like this kind of like tower entrance design. So I think what we're going to do is take this and have stone all the way up, and then we'll break it up with like different stone types and whatever else. And I think we'll make it look kind of cool. And then over here, this will be like a room where the walkway on the second floor will be kind of sunk in here, but then sticking out here. So we get this cool like lip effect on this. I think that's gonna be like a neat, just like a couple different textures on the walls here. And then the stone over here is going to be like only this high, whereas over here it's going to be maybe not as high as it is now, maybe to like here, and maybe I'll lower all that down a little bit. But it's gonna be interesting. We'll have some different heights and stuff. The thing I'm messing around with right now is this door. So it's the first time we've used double doors, and I don't know if I'm a fan, because you can see right here, if there's nothing behind this behind the door, it's sticking out by one. If there's nothing behind it, there's a small gap there. But on this side, if there's something behind it, it's fine, except for if we open it, it sticks through the door when it opens. So I don't know how to fix this, because that gap looks terrible, and when it's open, it looks terrible. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do there yet. The other thing we might do is this floor here is a little bit too small. Our character model is a little bit small for this window, so I'll probably raise this floor like one, so we'll have like a step here, maybe something like that. Anyways, I'm gonna keep building. So it's been a little while, and before I get too crazy with this build, I want to kind of bring you guys back and show you the thought process of what I'm doing here. Now, from the outside, it doesn't look like a lot's changed, but I have kind of figured out like 90% of how I want to do this build, which honestly is usually the part I struggle with. It's usually put stuff down and hope for the best. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, this door is gonna completely change. This, I'm just messing with this, so don't ignore that. Over here, we're gonna have this kind of like wall be, we're gonna decorate this, but it's gonna be stone up to there. Then we're gonna have our half timbered wood up top, same as I said before. This we'll figure out. But when you come inside here, we have a slight step up, and then I've decided to build our fireplace kind of in the middle of everything. It's gonna be basically in the dead center of the house. I've been messing around with the idea of these glowing blocks. So this kind of gives this like menacing blue glow. At night, it looks really, really good. Especially because like the new guy we killed, what the hell is this thing called? I don't remember what it's called. But his mouth kind of glows already. So this really matches it. And then what I'm kind of doing is this area over here and this area over here are going to be like open concept. So this will probably be like the kitchen and whatever else. The main like hall, I guess it's like a great hall you'd call it in like medieval things. Over here, we're gonna have stairs up. So this will actually be nothing. This is gonna be hollow under here, at least for now. And then you're gonna come up here. So this will be like the main floor. Is that the right word? Main floor? Like this will be the main level, first floor, second floor, I guess we'll call it. So over here, this will be like an enclosed off room. We'll have this area as just like ability to like look over, so a small little balcony thing. We'll probably have a bedroom or something in here with a balcony out the side so you can look out, you know, to the valley. This little corner piece, I'm playing around with the idea of this being a bathroom because we really haven't made one of those properly yet, and we don't have a lot of things to do with it. Over here, I don't quite know what we're gonna put, but I'm thinking this piece here, I need to push it either out another half block at least, or in a half block, because right now it's on the same plane as this wall, and I don't like that. I like, if you're gonna do it, I kind of think that you should put walls either sunken or stretched out, just for a little bit more visual interest, especially when you build these kind of houses. But the next main step to this build, I need to replace our floors because I'm sick of looking at this stupid wood, and I really want to upgrade this and get the proper flooring in so we can really get a feel of how this looks as we build. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources, so I need to go and farm a bunch of that stuff. And while I'm doing that, I think we're gonna head over and we're gonna get the masonry tools and the other blacksmithing stuff. But I need to record that episode, so I'm gonna cut here and I'll be back in a minute. And just like that, we are back. I have slain all the bosses now, I think. I'm all the ones we can get to at least. If you guys haven't seen that video and you're interested in seeing what we unlocked and all the boss fights, I'll put a card thing in the top right corner you can click on for that. But I'm super excited and super disappointed in some of the things we unlocked. The reason I say that is I was excited for the stone braziers and the stone illumination things. Unfortunately, there is a bug in the game. Apparently it's known, they're working on it. And when I logged out and then logged back in, I no longer have access to the stone illumination things. So we're stuck with the lighting we have. We unlocked some bronze stuff, but I was really excited to replace all these torches on the road here. Whatever, it's no big deal. It's one thing and it's perfectly fine. We did, however, unlock these stone fences and are able to build them now. The only bad thing is they're slightly different color stone. Like these are more warm, where the regular stone is obviously a cooler stone. So we're gonna use them, but it doesn't quite match. Now, I've also been messing around with the shroud stuff. So I grew this tree here just to see what it would look like first of all. And then I was able to kind of overgrow it with some shroud. If you build on this, normally, like in the last episode, I can't build close to this, but the collider on this actually lets us build like directly into the tree. So we can get some cool growth type things. And at night, this lights up and looks so menacing. And I actually really love the look. So we're gonna do some more like growth type things. Not go crazy with it, but it's gonna be cool. We also got this head from the Fell Monstrosity, which is ridiculous with the hands, and there's like a face right there going out of the side with like a, you know, a tooth out of its eye, whatever. We're probably not going to use this. I think this will turn it from more from like a manor into like a haunted house, and I don't want to go quite that route quite yet. But I also unlocked a couple blocks. Now, I'm not too thrilled with these. So let's see here. We've got this refined stone, which looks like that. It's more of like a kind of a Roman theme, it looks like. And then there's fancy stone, which I really don't like. Not that I don't like the look. It's got like it's like limestone. So like you can see it's like wet and dry. I'm not a huge fan of these for this build. What I am a fan of though is the trim on this block, and I've actually used it in a few places. So you can see that new stone kind of here. It has a cool effect where when it has something underneath it, it actually has like the trim actually goes 2 blocks high instead of 1. So you can get this kind of rustic wood look. It's kind of hard to see here because there's no real good lighting, but I think it looks really interesting. So I'm trying to build something out of it here. I've also gone ahead and filled all this in, trying to get like a more of a shape of our rooms. And then I used that new stone as our stairs here, just to get a different wood texture. You can see here, it's like the refined wood and then a little bit different. It's more broken and cracked. I'm not a huge fan of the look from there, but from the front, I think it looks really awesome. Now, I was pondering putting a door here and making like stairs kind of go down from this spot. But I also thought maybe we can get away with using a secret door. So this will open up and we have like a way to go down, or like a, like a dungeon or whatever we want to do here. We can go down to the shroud. I'm not too sure of that yet, but it gives us an option for like a doorway. The only bad thing is we don't have stone that really matches this yet. So it looks cool, but obviously you can tell that there's a door or something there. So I'm going to try to work on that. But for now, it looks cool. And then up here, I've kind of figured out the kind of finalized plan for our build up top here. We're going to leave this open. This will be a bedroom. Over here, we're going to have 2. These are just for show, to figure out what I'm doing. So we're going to have 2 kind of archways here that go out into like a balcony, a flat roofed balcony here. Now we do have to extend this out a bit because it looks flat, and well, to be honest, it looks really stupid right now. So we're gonna figure that out. And then I'm kind of messing with how the roofs are gonna connect. We're gonna have different levels of roofs and whatever else. But this, I think, is gonna be like kind of a study area up here with like I said, the overlook kind of over this edge. And then we're gonna do a flat roof on this stone piece where we might put stairs here kind of going up to it. I'm not too sure on that yet, but I'm getting this kind of fleshed out. So we're gonna do a bit of building, and then yeah, hopefully we're getting close to actually getting this thing finished. Sure why in the last clip I said we'd be almost done, because honestly it's been like 3 days of working after my regular job doing this, and I'm still not even close to being done. So I don't know what I was thinking when I said we were almost done, but I'm kind of in a dilemma right now. I'm trying to figure out this area, right? So I turned this kind of back part into like a main bedroom. I'm gonna fill the roof in and kind of figure that out. I put like a jacuzzi tub kind of thing here using the illuminated blocks. Everyone keeps telling me to use them as water, so we're doing it here. And I also put the like a tub thing underneath here, just so we get the bonus, which we don't need now because we're gonna use a bigger tub over there. But then I put 2 beds together and kind of sunk them in, made this kind of like a bigger bed, I guess. The thing I'm kind of playing around with still is like this kind of corner. I don't know if I like that yet. With the big fireplace in this room, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool, a little plant in the corner. But then here, I'm kind of torn. I've done this here and up there. The upstairs is all done. I'll show you guys that in a minute in like the actual base walkthrough tour thing when I'm done. Same with down here. This is kind of mostly done. I'm just finishing a few things. We'll show you guys that later. But what I'm working on here is this area and this bathroom. So I'm thinking this might turn into like a bit of a bar, and then out here we might actually make this like a farming area. Like I'll put a whole bunch of like grass and stuff. We'll put our actual like farming things out here, right? So we can put like a trellis or something out here to make it look kind of cool. And then these doors are just placeholders. Like this will be a lot bigger, but I don't know if that's gonna work, and I don't know if this table is gonna be too big for this spot. And then the question becomes, this was supposed to be a bit of a bathroom here, but I put the shower and the bathtub together and it takes up a lot more space than I thought it would. So what I might do, just for like a better look, is if the wall, instead of being here, if I push it back by 2, and then it comes out like right this way, and then we actually push this back 2 or 3 into this room to make like a bigger, more luxurious tub area thing, like bathroom thing. I think that would look kind of cool. And then it's a matter of putting the door where we want it, either in through here or in through here. I'm not sure. And then this area, I don't know what to do with this. Obviously, make another bedroom. It'd be fine, but it'd be similar to that. There'd be a fireplace. There'd be a big bed or whatever. And I don't know that we need it, but I don't know what else to put here, to be honest. We have built this place very much more function, look than function. So I don't have a place for a blacksmith or a carpenter yet, but I think they're going to go in a different building anyways. However, the farmer can go in here, and this can become like the manor and the farmhouse, I guess. Yeah, so this is my dilemma. I'm hoping in the next clip we're actually done, but no promises. Yeah, I think this is coming along pretty good. It's kind of becoming more of a tavern than like a manor though, but you guys have to let me know in the comment section if this whole thing has turned into more of a hotel tavern than it is an actual house. But whatever. For now, this area is kind of done. I'm still working on a few things, but I'm more or less just detailing this now. So I went ahead and I put like this, it's that new stone, the fancy stone brick, whatever. And it works really well for doing like countertops. So I made a countertop here, put a chest under here, a workbench, just so it's hidden but still functional, right? And then I started just making this like decorative more than anything. So obviously there's bookcases and the head and all that. Out here, I'm still not quite done, but I planted a tree, let it grow, and then I put a whole bunch of plants out here. Kind of like a little farming area, but also like I guess just a fancy balcony. I don't know what you'd actually call it. And I gotta finish that side yet. But what I've been working on is actually this bathroom, which I think came out really, really nice. So there's the double sink behind the door, the shower in the tub, bunch of plants, toilet in the corner. And I think it actually it's actually quite a cozy little bathroom, to be honest, in my opinion. And then over here, this room is done. Like I said, it's gonna be the same as the other rooms, but it's hard to make bedrooms unique. I mean, bedrooms are pretty boring, to be honest. So there's like a sitting area for reading. I put a little desk in the corner. This is the first time I've done a corner fireplace, but I think it came out pretty decent. Obviously, it needs some work. Like in the back here, there's no like detail in it. It's just flat. So we'll have to fix that. And then I actually moved the beds from that room into this room, just because I used the stone beds here and they sit a lot lower and I don't know if I like them, but we need the comfort bonus. We're at 56 level of comfort, which is an hour of rested time. So that's pretty good. Anyways, I need to do the front right now and then I can get this video out to you guys. Well, I think I'm finally at a point where I can call this build complete, and it has taken forever, but I'm excited to be done. This thing turned out, personally, I think it turned out awesome, and I'm super excited to show it to you guys. It did kind of turn more into a tavern bar thing than it did a manor, but whatever. It's interpretation, right? So I did my best to not put too many time lapses in the build. I hope you guys are okay with that. Some people love time lapses, some people hate them, so I try to balance it, which means I skipped a lot of the building, but whatever. If you guys have any comments, let me know on that. Anyways, we started the build with this kind of like empty drain pond thing, and this is where the idea kind of started for the whole build, where basically there's this level of corruption. You know, the shroud is creeping into our build here, and I wanted to be very subtle with it, just like we did on that house there. So it's definitely taking over parts of our build, and we have that kind of throughout the entire house here. So as we go up this way, I built a path again from our, center. We don't really have a town yet, so this isn't really a town center, but from our flame altar. As we come in here, I started breaking up the pathway here. So what I had to do for this is I actually put a bunch of dirt on top of this, and then if you break it with a pickaxe, you kind of get this different texture. It doesn't show all the time. I think it's different. Yeah, okay, you don't see it now, but it kind of gives there's a floating thing right there. There's something floating right there. Anyways, it breaks this up so you can kind of get a different pattern, but it's whatever. It didn't stay apparently. So we have part of this ground, and then as we come up here, we have the complete look of this. And again, it didn't turn out quite the way I thought, but the whole thing I wanted was this like tower-esque thing in the center, and then more of a medieval build on the side. And I think it came out. So I was trying to wear this place out without making it dilapidated, but definitely like old and wore out, and not haunted house, but something along those lines. So we have a bunch of stuff growing over here. It's kind of overgrown in places. This tree, like I said before, it has some corruption kind of growing up around it, right? So it kind of goes around and then through there. Same with over here. We did a typical build where I have, you know, windows that are big and kind of the two-tiered, is that the right word? Two-tiered thing where we have like stone in the bottom and then a different texture going up. One thing I've noticed though is our character model looks tiny. I don't know if it did in all of our builds, but I look very small now and I don't know why. But then we also have the corruption stuff kind of going over here. Again, I was trying to be subtle with it, but put enough that you can see it. Over here though, this is not finished. I'm not 100% on this build. You can actually see there's a hole in the roof there, but the main parts of the build, everything you're going to see is done, and the rest we'll do later. So for here, I did struggle a bit with getting this entrance to look grand enough, but also not overpowering with like the roof and everything. And it looked very boring when it was just flat wall. So the roof kind of helps that, but it still keeps the ability that where double doors, you know, look like they fit here. So as we come in, this entrance, I want to put something above the door or on this wall. I don't like these blank walls, but I don't know what to put there yet. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Over here, we have this bit of a seating area. I used the new stone benches and some flowers and I kind of try and make it look more inviting, I guess. We also use new stone tables, and same thing. I put kind of flowers and stuff everywhere, trying to make it look more homey and lived in. And then over here, that kettle shouldn't be there. Over here, we did the what is that thing called? The wisp wyvern head. And because it has the glowing blue, that's kind of where all the blue luminous stuff started. So in here, I wanted this to kind of glow from that. So we put these luminous blocks in here, and they're hidden, so you really don't see them unless you're looking for them. But it gives that awesome blue glow in the fireplace, which I think looks really cool. Over here, I started using some of that new, what is it? Fancy stone block, I think it's called. And it works really well as countertops. So if we put a table inside here, you get like an island with a little bit of a sunken feel here. But the problem we have is cups and stuff don't sit on this block. You can see how this is like a little tiny bit lower there. So it makes cups and stuff not sit properly on it. So we kind of had to deal with that. And you can see that over here. Why is that cup floating? There's a floating cup right there. I'm not sure how I accomplished that, but we have a floating cup. But you can kind of see that there's a couple things right there. That bowl, you can see through it because it doesn't sit well on the table or on the countertop. So here I sunk some cupboards into the wall, so we get some like actually built cupboards that we can use, because there's no other way to make small shelves. Up here, I wanted to put chests. Unfortunately, you can't reach them from this distance, because again, we're tiny apparently. I don't know why, but I feel very tiny in here. Anyways, going upstairs. Actually, before we go upstairs, this wall, like I said earlier in the video, I was gonna put stairs going down here, but instead we put this secret doorway. And underneath here, it is an absolute mess that we're not gonna worry about right now. So let's just pretend we didn't even see that. So on the second level, this is where it definitely becomes more of a tavern feel, obviously because we built a bar. So what I've done here is we have these little spots of corruption that are there, and then a couple over here. Now, I kind of made these ones on the side here more as if the corruption is like breaking through the floor, right? You can see there's stone and stuff coming through, and then more rocks and very little grass, so there's no plant life. Whereas the center one here has like some mushrooms, and it looks like it was there on purpose, so it was like a built-in flower area, but I wanted it to be corrupt, and then now it's kind of growing up the fireplace, right? We started using these new stone tables just for one, because they give us a lot more comfort. And then over here behind the bar, we use some of these polished cupboards, and I sunk a work table behind this, so that way we have a functioning work table and obviously a chest. We have to put, you know, chests elsewhere later because we have very little storage in this whole build. But you know, like I said, I made this definitely more for looks than for function. Outside here, I started making a like growing area for our plants and stuff. We've done a lot of plants in this one, and I think it helps make it a little bit more more lived in and more grand. So I grew this tree here, which probably doesn't make any sense growing from like a balcony, but I think it looks really cool and adds to this. The one thing we do have is this water well. Probably shouldn't be here and doesn't really fit, but I don't know where else to put it. So yeah. And then over here, I haven't finished this area because I've been lazy and, well, it's just not finished. I also showed you guys in the last clip, there's this bathroom we did where I put the shower above the tub and kind of lifted this a little bit so it has that more, again, more of a grand feel. And you get some of those like fancier places you go to that have like the, you know, a step up into the shower and everything, right? And then obviously it's stone versus wood, so it makes more sense. I started growing some plants in here, put in the corner, double sinks. I think this turned out really good. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the build, to be honest. Yeah. So this is the first time we've actually put some thought into our bedrooms. In the last few builds, it's been just put a bed down, side table, whatever, call it good. But in these ones, I wanted them to be, you know, more function and more of a good look to them. One thing we'll have, once they get armor stands, we'll be able to fill these a little bit better and actually make these like, you know, closets and that kind of stuff. But for now, we have a double bed here, just 2 beds side by side. I put like the stone benches here at the end, which I think helps make it, like, well, it fills the room, right? And then we started building fireplaces. Now this is the first fireplace I've built that's kind of in a corner. I'm not too happy with these 2 end blocks. I don't know why, but they don't look as good as I want them to. But I think this turned out really well. I've also put the regular fireplaces in the floor throughout this whole build, so we get the heated bonus for our rested throughout the entire house, basically. And then I did the same thing here. I sunk a table into those blocks, so we get kind of a desk. So there's a little bit of function to this room, instead of just bookcases like I've been doing everywhere. And then on this side, I again did the same thing. I sunk 2 beds into the floor a little bit. And basically these ones are the new stone beds, because I think they also give like +5. You put one and you get +5. I think right now we're at +56 comfort, which gives us a little over an hour comfort rating, I believe. So I also did a fireplace here, but I need to lift the floor of it a little bit. I don't like that the campfire is that low. I want to be able to see it more. And then I also have been told a whole bunch of times to start using these luminous blocks as water. It just becomes like nuclear water. So I don't want to use it a lot, but in this one, I kind of thought, you know, let's do like a jacuzzi in the corner, which again, kind of adds to that hotel feel where you have a bathtub in the room. I don't know. You don't see that many places other than like hotels and stuff. The only thing I'm not happy with is this corner. I don't really know what to put here, and these bookcases are going to come out. I don't like how this works. But I really wanted kind of like a closet area or something along those lines. Like I said, armor stands are going to help us a lot. And then on the upper level, this is an area I haven't shown you guys yet, but this was actually the very first part of this build that I finished. And I started detailing this well before I even had the bottom floors like thought of. I don't know why, but I really love the idea of doing this grand desk thing here. So I put the a throne here, which again gives us a +5. And then we have a big, large table, stone table sunk into these blocks. Now I'm using these other blocks instead of the fancier ones, because for one, when I built this, I didn't know how those would look. So then putting some plants on the end of this gives us more of a regal, grand look, which I thought was really cool. And then obviously putting lots of bookcases and stuff in here really helps kind of sell that. Like this is our desk, basically. We gave our alchemist over there just a table in the corner. Well, we've got, you know, we have a corporate desk, I guess now. Out here, I didn't put any plants. I just put a little bit of growth just to kind of fill this in. I wanted a balcony, kind of an open air thing. You know, there's no doors on this, but I wanted it so it's kind of just a way we can walk out. We can jump off of here and glide out of here, whatever. It's kind of like our bat, I was gonna say bat cave thing, but that's not right. It's like, what's a superhero like lives in a tall place. I don't know. Anyways, I put a little bit of corruption up here. Again, just in little areas, trying to make it just subtle, but you know, enough that we're getting some corruption through the builds, right? So one thing about this area, I really had trouble with the dynamic lighting. So if you come inside here and you look that way, you can see that is absolutely blinding, and it's so hard to work on anything here because you can't see it. So I struggled a lot with that, which is why this is kind of more plain than I really want it to be. But yeah, I couldn't deal with that. And then again, more corruption here, kind of coming from below, where again, it's taking over a growth area and slowly growing up this fireplace. I wanted it kind of centralized to the fireplace because then it's like it's growing out of the Wisp Wyvern head. Like that's the source of the corruption, maybe, is because we have that. Now it's corrupting our builds. There's a hole in the roof there. There's a hole in the roof there. Okay, I haven't finished the roof, so we don't worry about the holes in the roof. Over here, I just put up basically a door here because I didn't want to have an empty area. Over there, I blocked it off, but I thought, you know what, maybe we can put something in here. I don't know what we'll put in here. If you guys have suggestions, please let me know. But for now, it is a storage room with the top of a chimney in here, and that's pretty much it. And then going upstairs, we have another small storage area. All of these things up here are our old comfort level stuff. So these give like comfort level 1, and we've replaced all that. So it's just a place I'm storing them for now. And finally, up top, we have just a large kind of seating area. There's not a lot going on up here, as I wasn't sure if this should be full of something or if it should be more of like a top of a castle lookout area. I don't really know, but I really didn't want to corrupt the view of this, right? We have a good view there. We can see out everything over this way. On this little sunken level, we have a little bit of plant life, but not a lot going on. And I don't know if I should do more here or what we should do with this area, but it's, I didn't want to go too overpowered with this, that's for sure. So this build has taken me a hell of a long time, and I think I am actually super happy with this. I think it turned out really good. The aesthetic of this looks awesome. Like this view from right here, I think looks really, really good. There's obviously some things we need to fix. And like I said a few times, if you guys have suggestions, especially in this area, is there anything you guys think I should do differently or anything I'm missing that I should be putting in here besides storage and all that stuff, obviously, let me know. But if you guys have any suggestions on the video quality or anything I'm doing wrong or anything you want to see, all that stuff, whatever you guys want to say, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I really hope there's a broken roof right there. I'm probably gonna fix the roof. As I was saying, if there's anything you guys want to see or whatever, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm planning to do another build very soon. So if you have any suggestions or ideas, please let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.